Hey everybody, sorry, I just had to turn my volume off on the other monitor. Tried doing that before. Well, tonight we actually have a special guest, a man that gets out there and does his adventuring and has fun doing it. So we're going to have some fun tonight and ask this gentleman some of those tough questions. So I want to welcome Paula, who is in the house from Vancity Travels. Hey, Paula. Who else is in the house? DJ from Morris Family Adventures. And let's kick this off. We're going to introduce, who are we introducing, Cayden?
Ray.
We're introducing Ray from
Vanliferocks.
Vanliferocks.
What's going on? I'm really excited to be here.
How are you?
Good. Just rolled into town. I was just at Lake Mead, and I wanted to make sure I got back into town where I get some good reception. And yeah, I'm excited to be here. I'm doing good.
It always helps when you have good reception.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that balance. It's like when you're out in the boonies, it's a good thing, but then, being disconnected from the outside world, but then when you need to go live, you have to go back into town where there's good reception.
Yeah. It's nice to, give yourself a mind break, but at the same time, it's also nice to know that you've got that security or that lifeline, things like that, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's always nice to have that balance.
Oh, it is. So we're gonna dive into this.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm excited.
So your first question.
Yeah.
Why did you start VanLife?
Yeah. There's a lot of reasons. I think I could probably sum it up in the one word, and that's freedom. Freedom from that rat race, freedom from owning a home or needing to rent out a house or a room, freedom from having to pay bills every 30 days, freedom from having to pull weeds or mow the lawn, or just freedom to live that simple life. Living that retired lifestyle. I didn't want to work 20, 30 years to then retire, to then wanting to travel or being able to travel. So living that simple life, the freedom to go where I want to go, freedom to live that life filled with adventure. And there were some things that led me down this path. I went through a divorce in 2013, and then I decided to sell my house. And then 2016, I was fired from my career job and decided, I didn't want to start over again. I wanted to live that simple life and kind of live the dream I always wanted to live, So basically freedom, and it's been fun. I've taken a lot of joy, and it's given me a lot of joy in life. Being able to live in a van, going wherever I want to go, being able to hike and going out and experience these adventures. It's been a lot of fun. In fact, today or every day, actually, when I go on a hike, it's like, wow, I get to do this every day. It's awesome. Vanliferocks.
So you've got kids, right?
Yep. He's 10 years old. He lives with his mom, and that's another joy too. It's like we've been able to go camping, hiking, getting out in nature, and those are things that I remember growing up, living or going out with my dad and my grandfather, camping and fishing. And it's like, and that's another thing. Following your channel, it's like you get to go out and you have these moments with your son and your dog and your wife, and it's like those are memories that you guys are gonna have forever, right? So,
Oh, yeah.
So he's 10. He's at home with his mom, and because of COVID, he's being homeschooled, and so hopefully I'll be able to take him out on some adventures this spring, hopefully when the weather kind of calms down for him.
Does he like to get out and do the adventures?
Oh yeah. In the last 3 years, we've gone to 36 different places, and it's been so much fun. It's been a dream, basically, a dream.
It's different than doing, how do you put it, the normal thing.
Yeah.
Because you're out there and you've got that, you don't have all the things around you to distract.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So you have I find at least that you've got more of a personal connection that builds.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not competing with him with the cell phone or the PlayStation or the TV or his other games that he has or his friends. You know, it's like one-on-one, him and I hitting the dirt, going up on the trail, coming back, being tired, having some dinner, having some s'mores, and it's one-on-one to the maximum, and it's definitely it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
I still have not tried s'mores.
One of my favorite pictures is him taking a big bite out of a s'more. It's a picture that I absolutely love, and just to see his joy on his face, the background, and just him and I. What's up, Cayden?
So that kind of leads me to the next thing. So what would you consider your biggest weakness?
Yeah, I think it's getting in front of the camera. It's getting in front of the camera, trying to tell a story. That's hard for me. That's hard for me to share. Trying to connect the mind and thoughts to what I want to say to a camera. Because I'm more of a behind the scenes kind of guy. I like shooting pictures and planning different shots and, you know, flying the drone and editing videos for 6 to 8 hours. I love that stuff. But to get in front of a camera, being able to come up on the live stream like right now, it's definitely a challenge. I'm really excited to be here. But it's definitely something that takes some effort, but I know that practice makes better. So the more I do it, you know, the better I'll get at it. And, you know, it just takes some little time and a little bit of effort. So I think that's my biggest weakness is trying to be able, I have all these shots, I have all these pictures and these adventures, but I need to put those things all into words to explain it to everybody else.
Exactly.
So it's easier for me to say, hey, no, look at this scenery, you know, and let it speak for itself. So I'm trying to find that balance. And that's something I'm definitely trying to work on, is being able to tell that story, you know, but we'll get there. So
then I guess that would lead to the next question then. What would you consider your biggest accomplishment?
Okay. Well, personally, I think that's just that, like, back to that connection with my son, being able to connect with him. That he's my most important person in the world to me, is my son, right? So being able to connect with him, being able to have these moments and these memories and these adventures with him is priceless, absolutely priceless. You know, living that normal life where you work all year to have those 3 weeks off or whatever, to have those vacations, to try to capture those moments away from school, away from homework, away from work, away from the PlayStation. So having this lifestyle, being able to have this connection with my son is priceless to me, absolutely priceless. And that's a personal level. And it's been awesome. It's been awesome. And as far as my YouTube channel, my biggest accomplishment would be connecting with other YouTubers and friends all over. It's hard to explain, and I didn't expect that when I first started my YouTube channel. I didn't expect to have a friendship with you guys or anybody else that creates videos on YouTube or people that watch my videos, to have that connection where I could make a video and have that connection where I could respond to their comments or reply to their questions. I didn't expect that. So yeah.
So what made you start a YouTube channel then?
Yeah, so I was doing YouTube, or I was doing van life for 2.5 years prior to COVID. So March 2020, COVID hit, everything shut down. I was doing van life for 2.5 years, being able to be stealth in a city, work, and on the weekends, be able to go out on the weekends and boondock out in the desert or in the mountains. So when COVID hit, March 2020, I still did my own thing for a few months, but then June is when I launched my YouTube channel. And I realized then that I needed to share my experiences. It's like I'm doing all these adventures with myself, my son, but I felt like I needed to share it because during this lockdown, so many people were at home, not able to go out and adventure. So I felt like, hey, if I have this opportunity, this might be a great time to share all these experiences, all these adventures with people on YouTube, right? And then I realized a month after that, you know what, it's more than that. It's connecting with people. You're actually becoming friends with people on YouTube. I didn't expect that at all. So yeah, COVID gave me the motivation. I knew that I wanted to do a YouTube channel, but it definitely pushed me in the direction to, to start that YouTube channel, start sharing my experiences. And in the back of my mind, I wanted to help people because, and I still know that in the future, we're going to be going through a lot of tough times economically, and people are going to be forced out of their house. They might be forced into living in an RV or van or car or whatever. And so I wanted to provide, information to people, that this is the lifestyle that if you're forced to do it, you can do it. Or if you want to do it, you're gonna be able to enjoy it. So yeah, COVID had a major role in it. Yeah.
So DJ from Morris Family Adventures asks, Ray, are you a shy person in real life?
Yes. In large groups, I do get nervous. I do have that anxiety. If someone asks me to go out to dinner with them, I'm very nervous. I'm almost automatically wanting to say no or find reasons to say no. And I hate that. Because that's not the person that I am deep down inside. I want to share. I want to have that friendship with people, but it's hard for me. It's definitely a challenge for me. It's kind of hard to explain, but I like being alone, or I like having my space.
No, I hear you, because I'm the same way. I'm an introvert that forces myself to be an extrovert.
Yeah. And when I had my career job, I was in charge of 100 team members. So every shift, for about 10 minutes, we'd have our pre-shift in front of 100 people, and I'd have to go up there and say, hey, this is the plan. We're doing this, we're doing that, but yeah, it definitely takes effort for me to open up and to be in front of people and to be in groups and be in front of, an audience. And, but again, practice makes better. And so the more I do it, the more comfortable I'm getting at it. And it just takes some time.
So is stealth really important to you?
Yeah. When I was working, living in a city in Southern California where there's, lots of laws against it, to being able to live in a vehicle,
okay.
Or have, or letting people know that I live in my van, when I was living van life prior to COVID, I was living van life for 2.5 years, and I worked with people that didn't know that I lived in a van. They knew I had a van, right? They knew I went camping, but they didn't know I lived in it. So COVID, living in a stealth van, was huge. And that's the reason why I picked that particular van, is because I live in a city where it's a commuter town. People commute into San Diego, LA, Riverside, Orange County. And so those vans are all over the place. Those 15 passenger vans are all over the place. So I knew I could blend in with church vans or
Super shuttle.
Exactly. So, having the flexible panels on the roof was huge for me to have. Tinted windows, having that stealth kind of van, not like a camper van or an RV, was definitely huge.
So can you see your solar panels?
You could see it if you're like in a second story floor. You could see it. Yeah, if you're in a second floor store looking down, you could look at it. You could see it. But if you're ground level, you cannot see those solar panels at all. So that was huge for me. And I also put 2 rack rails along the side just to make that extra coverage, just in case. So
Paula asked if she's an introvert. No.
No.
She is not. She's an extrovert.
Paula, that's
Yes.
right. She has that ability to communicate and to be open. She has that ability that's connects with people like that. So that's awesome.
It takes more effort for an introvert to get in front of the camera, to do interviews, to do YouTube, and to just be out there. And it even takes more effort to make friends.
Yeah. I've always had a small circle of friends. In high school, it was 5 buddies, and we did everything together, but it was just 5 of us, right? And then playing sports, football or track or cross country, it's like I had big groups of people, but I only focus on like 4 friends or whatever, 5 friends.
Yeah.
Quality versus quantity. I mean, I don't know. It's just, yeah.
So who was one, or I should say who, maybe there was a couple, but who really inspired you as far as van life and YouTube goes?
Yeah, so before VanLife, before I even knew about any of that stuff, on YouTube, kind of surfing through through YouTube, and I came across Adventure Van Man Brian, and he was a guy living in San Diego, about my same age, living in a van. And then as soon as I saw the solar panel on his roof, I was like, okay, I could put a solar panel on a vehicle and probably live out of it. And then I came across Bob Wells, and he made a video about pooping in a bucket in a bag. And then so that checked off another thing. It's like, okay, I have solar on the roof. I could poop in a bucket if I need to. And another one is Box Van D. As soon as I found out that despite her, her health issues or finances or, whatever, she lived in a car and made it look doable, right? Despite what she was going through. So solar panels, pooping in a bucket is doable, done, sold. And so those were the 3 main channels, or the people that I watched early on in the very beginning. And then as soon as I started my YouTube channel, Gina from VanLife with Gina changed my focus, because my focus in the beginning was subscribers, and numbers, right? That all went away as soon as I met Gina. It was all about connecting with people, connecting with the community, having friendships. That's actually the most important thing now for my channel. It's all about connecting with people, building these relationships, and so those are the 4 big ones that has definitely influenced my van life lifestyle for sure.
So what are your goals for, say, van life?
Every day. So in 2021 now, I've been able to go to the Valley of Fire, Bryce Canyon National Park with snow, which was a bucket list for me. And then I went to Zion, and I was hoping to have snow there, and that didn't happen, but someday. And now being able to go to Lake Mead, and after this interview, I'm gonna go straight back there tonight.
It's a beautiful area.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's I sent the drone up. I sent the drone up like 21 times today, despite the wind. It was blowing hard today, And I knew I was flying the drone. I'm like, I know I shouldn't be flying right now because I'm getting gusts of winds of like 20 miles an hour. I'm like, I shouldn't be flying, but I want to capture this.
You have the
the mini.
Yeah, so it's a little bit lighter.
Oh yeah, it's the size of my hand. It's super small.
Because mine's heavier, so it kind of sits there a little bit more with the winds or snow.
Yeah. So this mini it's being tossed around, so I gotta land it, let the winds calm down, and then go back up, and then it's just. But it's nice to have though, because yesterday, I went on a 6-mile hike, and I was able to put that drone in my backpack with a controller and hike 6 miles to capture what I wanted to capture. And so the small form factor like yours and like mine, being able to fold up in the size of my hand, is very cool. But goals. So I'm eyeing the Grand Canyon. It's snowing there tonight. It's going to snow again there Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I'm thinking about going to the Grand Canyon on Wednesday. It's a bucket list for me. This will be my 4th trip to the Grand Canyon, but I want there to be snow, and I want there to be a lot of snow. So hopefully this storm will be able to bring quite a bit of snow so I can capture that. So I'm looking forward to that. The rest of July or January and February, I'm thinking Arizona. So down to the Saguaro National Park, Ironwood, Quartzsite, the Colorado River, and then back home. So those are the goals for the next 2 months. But long-term goals, I want to be the greatest boondocker ever, you know? It's kind of weird for me to say, but I do. I want to be known as someone that's able to boondock 14 days, 21 days, or months at a time. So I have big dreams of having, with my van, a trailer that I can produce my own food, grow my own broccoli sprouts, and ferment my own vegetables, and grow my own mushrooms, and harvest my own meat. So yeah, being able to go out there days, months at a time, that's a big dream. That's a big dream. So and yeah, that's definitely one of my goals for 2021.
Are you stuck down to more of the southwest part of the country?
For now. So my plan for 2021 is all in the Southwest. So California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona. But I do want to branch out. Summer of 2022, I want to head to Canada, BC, and then hit the coastal, hit Washington, Oregon on the way down in 2022.
Beautiful drive.
Yeah. I've been as far as San Francisco, but to hit the Oregon coast, Washington, BC, Canada is high on my bucket list. And so hopefully this whole situation could go away, and hopefully 2022, summer of 2022 will be something that I could look forward to. After that, 2023, I'm looking more like Texas and Colorado, Midwest, and then 2024 East Coast, mainly the Northeast. So New York, New England area for 2024.
Like probably one of the good spots for you would be Lake Placid area.
That's Arizona?
New York.
Okay.
It's beautiful there. Like they used to, I don't remember what year it was, but they had the Olympics there. But it's very rugged, and you got the rivers, and you've got the trees, and I mean it was many years ago I was there, but I just remember like seeing those old buildings that had the wheels for the water, right, to generate power and stuff.
Yeah,
it was really neat.
Yeah, I've been to I've been to Washington D.C. I've been to Florida. I've been to Louisiana. But yeah, the New England area is high on my bucket list. Being able to go up there and see the history, right? The history of this country. All the old buildings are 200 plus years old, and it's definitely high on the bucket list for sure. But in time, I'm not a big fan of making these long, 3-day treks to get to one spot. I like to hit certain spots and kind of making my way, and kind of enjoying the journey to, and not needing to spend so much money on gas, to make those long cross-country trips and stuff. So that's the plan so far, and hopefully with everything that's going on, hopefully everything settles down, and hopefully that will be part of the plan.
So you talked about keeping shorter trips and not using gas.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your future goals as far as the vehicle goes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my van is 2005 GMC Savannah. It's a 15-passenger van, and it's has about 145,000 miles on it. It was an old U-Haul van from Hawaii, and so it has a little bit of rust underneath it, and has a little bit of wear and tear on it, but so hopefully the van will last me another year, maybe even 2 years, before I get another vehicle. If I had a choice, I would get the same exact van, same color, same everything, and I would build it exactly the same way. It's a no-build build. So I wouldn't put cabinets and kitchens and all that stuff. I would keep it very simple, the way it is now. But
So you wouldn't go to a van that you could stand up in?
Nope.
You like the low?
Yep. I want to live out of my van, not in it. I want to be able to just get in it and sleep and then go out on adventures. And that's basically my everyday plan. When I'm boondocking, I take a morning hike of about anywhere from 3 miles to 4 miles in the morning, come back, recharge my batteries, whether it's my batteries or me, and then I'm back out in the evening to catch that golden hour for the sunset for another 2 more hours. So then I come back and sleep in it. So I'm hardly ever in my van unless I need to be in it. I don't want to live in my van. I want to live out of it. And so the more uncomfortable it is, the better it is for me in terms of going out and exploring and getting out and hiking and being out in nature. Yeah.
So your goal basically is to get a trailer that you can tow behind it.
Yeah.
If you're going to do something like that, wouldn't you want to build out your van at that point then?
No, I would keep my van exactly the way it is. I would build out my trailer so that my son could have it, so he could have a space in it, a bed, a place where he could be homeschooled in, compartments where I can grow the food and store the food and all that stuff. But no, yeah, I don't want to. I want to be out of the van. I want to be out in nature as much as possible. So the van, whether it's a van or a Tesla truck, which is one of my dreams to have, I won't be able to stand up in a Tesla truck either. So, but yeah, being outside, going on hikes, walking around, taking pictures and video. That's what I want to be doing forever. Yeah.
So when you're doing your YouTube channel and stuff, what do you? Gina actually asked me this question. What do you film with?
I film with my iPhone XS, and so hopefully here in the next couple of months I'll be able to upgrade to an iPhone 12 mini is what I'm eyeing right now. So yeah, everything's filmed with the iPhone. I have GoPros as well, so when I'm hiking I could put the GoPro on my chest or on my head.
How do you find the GoPro?
It's okay. It's not I prefer the iPhone. I prefer using the iPhone on the gimbal when I'm walking around. But if I'm doing more of an intense or more rock climbing or of a longer hikes, then I'll put the GoPro on my chest. So I don't really try to lean on the GoPro at all. I have a GoPro Hero 8 and a 7, and I'm going to upgrade to a 9 here pretty soon. But I try not to use that. I try not to use the GoPro.
I'm the same way. Like if I'm going to use my GoPro, I use it for like I'm in the water, or if I can't use my phone type of thing, or if I'm driving, I have it on the dash.
Right.
Those kind of things. But that's all I really use it for.
It's hard to beat the phones, and especially when I'm going from a 10S to a 12. That's a huge jump right there in video quality and picture quality. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, the phones these days are amazing.
Well, and what I do like with the GoPro is the stabilization in it. But with the iPhone 11 and 12 and those, you have that now.
Right.
And that shaking or the bumpy of the road or path or whatever it is, right?
Right. And then if you put a gimbal on it, then you're able to get those nice pans across, the horizon and stuff. So I'm not gonna say I'm never gonna get like a a larger camera. Eventually I will, but for now it's amazing what you can do with the phone in these days. And I'm all Apple. Everything's Apple for me. The iPad, the computer. So everything works perfectly with my phone, the iPad, the computer, and uploading. It just makes it really simple for me.
Editing then?
I use the Final Cut Pro 10. Yeah, and I've had that for, 8 years now. I used to have a Airsoft channel, so I've been doing editing videos for quite a bit of time now, and on the Final Cut Pro. So it's kind of a little bit of a jump from like iMovie and stuff, but it's definitely I find it to be, it does everything I needed to do for sure. So
what do you use for a gimbal?
Gimbal, I have the DJI Mobile 3. They came out with the 4, but when I bought it, it was just a 3, and it works out pretty good. Yeah.
I haven't used my gimbal a lot. I need to use it more for getting those nice shots, right? And that's one of my goals, is to use my gimbal a little bit more.
Yeah, I was using it today. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yep, very cool. Yeah, even like when I'm driving too, like I'll stick my phone out on the gimbal, and I'll stick my phone outside the van, and kind of shoot outside, and it just makes it easy. It's one less thing to worry about shakiness or the wind or anything like that. So it works.
So I know that I've seen this in a few comments and questions and stuff like that, where you're on your adventures with your 5 other brothers. There's 5 and I know that I've seen before. It's like, okay, how does he do that? How does he do that?
So it's so what I do is I'll place my phone on a tripod, and I'll set it so that the my phone records a video, and I'll lock the picture on a rock, so it's not going to change focus whether I'm doing it's going to be locked on that rock, right? Okay, so then I'll plan my shot. So whether it's rocks or whatever's in the background, I can pretty much plan. Okay, I can stand there without blocking me. I can go here without blocking me. I can go right there without blocking, and there, right? So I get to that spot. I'll do whatever I'm doing for about 10 seconds in my head. I'm counting down 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. Then I'll shift to a different spot. Do the same thing. 10 seconds. And so it's one video clip of me standing 4 different places. I come back to my computer, and then it's layers. It's like building a cake, right? So your first layer is your main layer, and then you just add in ray here, ray there, there, and there. And so it's layers. And so I go with Final Cut Pro, I'm able to go in there and take this section out of the video. I can take this section out of the video. I can take this section out of the video, and then put it into a 10-second, 20-second clip.
Yeah.
And so it's like building a cake layer on top of layer. So it's fun. It's fun because it's hard to, it's one thing to see a gentleman or see someone walking on a trail, right? But it's another element where, or telling a different story where it's a scene and I'm doing different things all at the same time and telling the story. That's telling four different stories in telling four different stories in like 10 seconds of what I do out there, you know? And it's fun. It's fun for me. It's kind of a challenge because again, it plays with that creative mind. Like, okay, you know, it's not just rock climbing, right? It's rock climbing, but I'm hanging out or I'm enjoying the view. When I get to the top, it's just sitting there hanging out kind of thing. So
you're watching yourself rock climb. Fun to yourself.
Right. So it's just fun. It's just fun to do. It's different. It's creative, and it's fun to set up those shots. It's like I'll be walking, I'm like, oh, that's a good place to do that. And okay, I'll spend 5 minutes setting up the shot, you know, and it's worth it. It's worth it, even though it's only a 10-second clip, but it's fun. It's just one of those things. And it's another thing is like I like being alone, but I'm never lonely, right? There's always something to do out there. There's hikes to go on. There's views to look at. There's things to do. There you can fish, you can hike, you can kayak. There's all kinds of things you can do out there, and it's more than just boondocking. It's more than just camping. It's more than that, and to share that with other people. It's not just a desert, right? It's not just dirt and rocks. It's more than that. Yeah.
So you said that you like to be alone. So do you date? Do you like, how does being in a van and stuff like that?
Yeah, no, I do go, I date and I have friends, and you know, it doesn't socially hasn't changed me. A lot of people really don't know about it. Like a lot of my good friends don't know that I live in a van. My family knows I live in a van. Maybe a few of my close friends know I live in a van. But between myself and a couple of close friends know that I have a YouTube channel. That's it. Nobody else. My family doesn't know I have a YouTube channel yet. I'll let them know one of these days, but they know I'm working on a YouTube channel, but they don't know I have this, right? So dating hasn't been an issue. Having friends or family, any of that stuff hasn't been an issue. So just gives me the opportunity to go out and explore and adventure more.
No strings attached.
No strings attached, exactly. So, and I've been there and done that. Married twice, divorced twice. Both those marriages wasn't my choice for the divorce. It was their choice to go through a divorce. And so I'm done with that. I'm not gonna say never, but I'm done with having like a serious relationship. I just want to, focus on my dream, and my dream is to boondock for the rest of my life. That's it.
Before any of this, like you used to bartend.
Yep.
So I imagine one of those relationships was from the bar and stuff like that.
Yep.
And those type of relationships, I mean, don't get me wrong, some will work, but generally they don't.
Right.
And whether it's through the atmosphere, whatever it is, I mean, I've been there as well. Like when I was the bouncer, I mean, I dated one of the waitresses. It didn't last very long. But yeah.
Most of my relationships have come from work related environments. So whether it was the bar or a restaurant or a casino, almost all my relationships came from work related environments. But most of them, it didn't end up to be like that. I wouldn't say that was the cause of the end of those relationships. So, yeah.
Grew apart.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like You kind of made Paula fall off her seat there.
What,
Married twice.
what did I say?
Married twice.
Yeah, married twice, and I almost forget about that. Like I almost have to remind myself that, oh yeah, I was married twice, and because I'm so focused on now, I'm so focused on today, and I'm in a little bit of tomorrow, and that's about it. And if it doesn't bring me joy, then I let it go. And in fact, I can't even tell you exactly my last marriage. I can't remember the day I was married. I can't remember the day I was divorced. I can't remember a lot of things because it's in the past now. It's there's nothing I could do about it. It is what it is. I have pictures and videos and memories, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my focus is now and tomorrow and my dreams, and that's it. And so, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I also think, I mean, you are doing you're living out your dream.
Yeah.
And if you are looking for love, that's when you're going to find not the correct kind of person. I think if that person comes along and when you're doing something that you love doing,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be a better relationship. You're going to have that person that likes doing the same things and
Yeah.
wants to do things like you. I mean, you might not want them to.
Right. Right. Yeah. And that's why I'm not going to say never. I'm not going to say never. I'm never going to get in a relationship. I'm never going to get married. I'm not going to say those things. But at the same time, I'm not going to say I'm open to it either. But if it happens, then I'll let it be. But, you know, being married twice, divorced twice, I don't want anything to stop me from living out my dream, and that's this and my other dreams. So, yeah.
So DJ asked, what do you want in a woman?
I don't. My dreams right now is to make sure that my son and I have a strong relationship where we can adventure and explore and go do different stuff and have fun and create all the memories that I can with him. You know, I only have about 8 more years, I guess, kind of before he's finished with school or whatever in high school, and then he goes forward. But, you know, I want to maximize my relationship with him. I want to be able to explore. I want to be able to go out and boondock and hike and camp and live life the way I want to live it, you know, and
do it while you still can.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had so many people in my life died too young, you know, and life is short. Life is precious, and we got to make the best of it. And so I have a big bucket list, and I definitely want to tackle those things. And if it means another person's there, then that's fine. But I'm not looking for it. But I won't say, you know, it's never going to happen.
So like, I know you spend a lot of time, and we've kind of touched on this before about your son and going on your adventures and stuff. Does he go out a lot with you?
Oh yeah. Before COVID, we did, in the first 2 years I was living van life, we went 36 different places: Yosemite, Nevada, Grand Canyon, Bryce Canyon, Zion, Arizona. I have a book. I made a book just full of places that we've been to and pictures and stories inside this book that I gave to him. And we have a ball. Since COVID, it's been a challenge. Now that you know, things are shut down, it's a little bit more difficult for him to be able to go out on these adventures with me. But I think in springtime, now that he's on a normal schedule with homeschooling, I might be able to get him out and with me out in some of these adventures with me. Hopefully in springtime. What's that?
Are schools closed down there?
School's closed. Yeah. So we were lucky because we were able to get him inside a a homeschooling, like a charter school that does homeschooling. So we were lucky enough to get him into one of those programs before everyone else jumped on board. Because now there's a huge waiting list for these charter schools to have these homes, because right now the public schools are trying to do homeschooling with no experience of doing homeschooling, right? So now he's able to be at home. He meets with his teacher 3 times a day via his computer, and it's working out really well. So hopefully this spring, when the weather calms down and I kind of tackle the things I want to tackle before spring hits, then we'll get him out there. We'll get him out here and do some more exploring here pretty soon.
Interesting, because our schools are still open here.
Oh no, yeah, here in California. Yeah, here in California, most of the schools are shut down. Most of the restaurants, the dining restaurants are all shut down. Most of the gyms are shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
for here, and of course it doesn't make sense to me, but you can go into a restaurant, you wear your mask, you get seated, you got plexiglass on the sides, then you can take your mask off.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody just go around the booth.
We were able. Yeah, exactly. We had a stretch, I think it was like in August, September, where we were able to do that here. But I was like, nope, no, I'm not doing that. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. So now we're back to a full shutdown. All dining restaurants are closed, gyms, schools. So,
I mean, Cayden's the only one in his class that wears a mask.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. So I don't see schools going back open here until September, until next year, basically. End of August, September. So once we get a vaccine, whatever. But yeah. And in fact, I hope my son doesn't go back to school. I hope that's been a dream of mine too, is to go on these adventures and have him with me too. And so if he can do these adventures and be homeschooled at the same time, that's one of my dreams. And I told him that since he was a kid in kindergarten, first grade. You're not going to be going to middle school or high school. You're going to be with me or on the road somewhere. And I've been saying that for the last 4 years.
What does he say?
At first he didn't like that. At first he didn't like it, but now he sees like, I can, study at home and do my things. And he's seen what's out there, the adventures and the hiking and stuff like that. So he's more open to it now. And his mom is more open to it, because at first she was like, but since COVID, she's like, oh, she's forced into that. And she's starting to see that, yeah, this is something that we could do. So,
well, and the one thing that I really remember as a kid, because we traveled all through the US and Canada, and I don't remember a lot of things, but I do remember certain things of going to Washington, D.C., seeing the Capitol, and seeing all these little things and seeing parts of history. And it was something I could come back and tell my friends. It's like, I've seen this, I've been there. And it was really neat to kind of see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Those memories for me are ingrained with me forever. Those memories of my grandfather and my dad camping, fishing, not catching any fish or catching fish or whatever, or s'mores or the fire pit. It's like that stuff is like, it'll never leave me. And hopefully those same memories with my son will be with him forever too. And that's one of my dreams, is for him to have that. So
yeah, I think that's so important.
Oh yeah.
Karen says lots of honesty coming out here. Thank you, Karen.
Yeah. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, it's freedom. It's the van life has been so freeing in many ways, financially, getting out in nature, exploring, joy, being able to do these things and film and share is a dream. So it's taken me 40 odd years to realize, my dream. And now it's like, no stopping me now. It's like, I'm going for it. and making the best of it.
So you're traveling full time.
Yep. Right now I'm full time. Everything's my job. I lost my job from COVID in March. Everything shut down with the restaurants and stuff. So I lost my job since March. So I've been able to do all this now and probably for a little while. So I'm making the best of it. So
do you
COVID,
get a subsidy or
what's that?
how does that work? Like, how do you get paid? Like, do you get a subsidy because of COVID or?
Right. So right now I'm on unemployment. So I'm getting that for now, and all the restaurants and bars and all that stuff is closed down. So there's nothing for me to go back to right now. So
Yeah.
I'm working on this. So I'm working on YouTube. I'm working on connecting with people. I'm working on being able to edit videos. And that's another thing I did was I worked in a restaurant, but I also produced videos for startup companies, for Indiegogo. And so this is giving me the opportunity to work on YouTube and at the same time work on my editing and skills. And so once things go back to normal, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So.
And I think a lot of people get the impression or the understanding that, YouTube, you can sit there and you make tons of money. And I mean, if you're Mr. Beast and some of these guys, yeah, you're going to make a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as YouTube goes, I mean, it takes a long time to get to that point that, yeah, you make money. Your money is made up of other things.
Right. Yeah. I was actually thinking about that today. I do have a plan on, and you're right. You're right. YouTube, you make sense on the video, right? You make pennies on a view or whatever. But there's other ways of making video or money. There's a lot of ways of being able to finance my goals and my dreams. And I'm working on that. But yeah. What I'm thinking is probably by summertime is to make this into an actual business and being able to search out for some sponsors and whatever else that comes along between now and then, make the best of it. But until then, connect with people and make videos and get better at it. That's my goal and my plans for right now.
Oh, I fully agree with that. I mean, every video you do, you learn something new, right?
Yeah.
You get better as you go.
Yeah.
So it's learning tricks and trades and, learning from other people.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another thing I want to work on. That's another goal for 2021. Gina was saying how good your Instagram account is. And so I want to check it out because that's another thing I need to work on. That's another, I've been so focused on YouTube, right? I need to work on my Instagram account and start posting pictures that they're 4 times a week or whatever. And so that's something I need to work on this year too, is Instagram.
All my Instagram is basically shorts of the videos that I have or the videos that are upcoming.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Just me having fun with, 30 seconds or 15 seconds, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Just playing, but that's all I really use. Like, I don't use Facebook. Like
Right.
Facebook I have.
Yeah.
But I have everything that just kind of gets directed there.
Yeah.
I mean, this is streaming on Facebook as well.
Yeah. That's what I need to work on this year is Instagram and being able to share on that platform and try to bring people onto YouTube. And I need to work on that. Well, and like you said, I already do those short videos. So those short videos could easily, be posted there. It's just one extra step, right?
I mean, think of all the people that you've met too. I mean, just recently, you've got Karen and Paula and there's some people you might want to forget. But any names here.
No, that's been the one of the greatest joys so far is connecting with people. I didn't expect that at all with YouTube. Nope. No. So it's been awesome. And I know that one day when I go to BC, I know I'll meet you guys there. And one day when you guys come down to California or the Southwest, I know that you'll come by and I want to meet you guys down here as well.
Oh, yeah.
So it's been a whole nother level. I didn't expect it. I can go to Oregon, I can go to Arizona, I can go anywhere, and I know somebody, a friend on YouTube that I could say hello to or meet or hang out with for a minute or whatever, you know. So that's something I didn't expect for it to happen, and it's been great. It's been awesome. It's been awesome. So I'm looking forward to that for sure.
No, I think it's special to meet these people that you would never have met before.
Nope.
Right?
Nope. Yeah. I wouldn't expect to be up here with you or anybody else in the chat. You know, it's awesome. It's hard to explain that connection, and that's why I value that so much. You know, when somebody comments on my videos, I'm like, awesome. You know, they watched it, and I could go back and forth on that video or that comment. So it's been really cool to have a connection with people for sure. And one day I'll meet them for sure.
And for me, like, I'm not a van lifer. I mean, I've got you that's a van lifer. I've got Chrome that's a van lifer. I mean, I know people that are van lifers, but I'm not. Would I ever do it? I don't know. If it came down to it, maybe.
Yeah, but we have more than just a van in common, right? Yeah. It's adventure. It's getting out there. It's exploring. It's YouTube. It's more than just a van. It's more than just an RV. It's more than just an ambulance. It's a friendship, and that's huge. And I did not expect that to happen. Did not expect that to happen. So that's cool. That's really, really cool. Yeah. And sharing stories, sharing experiences, or the good ones and the bad ones. If I break down in Arizona, I know I'm a message away from letting someone know, hey, I'm down. I need help or whatever, you know. Or if I want to go to Oregon, I can meet up with Gina and then go to Crater Lake or the Oregon coast. You know, it's awesome. It's awesome. Oh, it adds a whole nother level of adventure and life, this lifestyle.
No, exactly. It's I think that by doing these adventures, I think it makes you a better person. It makes you a more rounded person. And I think at the same time, it helps ground you. And I think that what's important is being grounded and knowing where you come from and where you're going. And not becoming all
Instagrammy,
self-involved and conceited, and I mean, yeah.
And it's funny because I was just thinking about that today. It's like, so today was day number 2 at Lake Mead, and usually on my trips, I'm really, the first 2 days or the first portion of my trip is heavily YouTube, right? I'm filming, I'm shots, I'm throwing up the drone, I'm talking in front of the camera, and then the next half of the visit, I'm getting grounded. I'll take off my shoes, I will put my feet in the ground, I will sit on a rock, I will look at the view and soak it in, because that's what I'm doing, right? I can't let YouTube take over my adventure. I can't let YouTube take over my experiences out there. I can't let YouTube be focused in front of a laptop and not go out and enjoy what's out there, which is nature and looking out and seeing that the world is huge and you're only this big, or your problems are only this big compared to the rest of the world. So yeah.
And it's funny because you were saying, and I'm the same situation, that, COVID is what brought us into this. And you're taking something bad and terrible that's happened to everybody, whether people believe it or not, and created something very unique and different, and created all these friendships out of it.
And it's hard because, like, if someone asked me how was 2020 for me, it'd be like, at one way, I want to say, oh, it was terrible. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people died, right? And people got sick and whatever. And at the same time, it's hard for me to say 2020 was awesome because I got to meet so many people and connect with so many new friends. So it's hard. It's hard to. It's hard to, put words in 2020, right? It's so much has gone on, good and bad. So yeah, just one of those years that we'll never forget. One of those years that will go down in history as, what did you do? Well, I was with you,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And I think that's what's important. Ray, you've become an awesome friend. I really appreciate you taking this time to sit down and to chat and to be open and honest, to be vulnerable.
Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah, no, thank you for letting me come up here. It's been awesome to follow your journeys with your son. It reminds me of my experiences with my son. So keep doing what you're doing, and it's awesome to have this friendship with you and your son and Tosha and to follow you guys. So it's been fun, and I look forward to it. And I look forward to meeting you guys in person in the future. And lucky us, right? Lucky us.
No, I agree. It's I think that this whole journey for everybody is just I think it's important. I really do. Because a lot of people become self-absorbed and can you turn it down, Cayden? Forget about the true things that mean a lot to people. So,
yeah, I agree 100%.
So I really appreciate it, Ray. Paula started her live. I'm going to drop the link.
Okay.
And we can go raid Paula's channel.
Yeah.
Once again, I wanted to say thank you. And it's been an honor having you here on our channel.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. You're awesome.
Thanks, Ray.
All right. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
So we are done. Really appreciate Ray and all his time. What an amazing guy. And look forward to our friendship and to all those adventures to come. So it's great. And we appreciate you all for being here. Thanks, guys.